and give him Ulrich's documents. A knight who was just like me, investigating the counterfeit coin. A German knight.
God be with you, lad. What can
because he is supposed to oversee the fake Russian. Well, he knows about, you know, Russian. That's why I have to give it to him.
Master Fayfar, I need to speak with you. I found out something about the counterfeit coin.
Did you really? Do tell.
Close to Rovno, I came across a wagon that was transporting the false coins. Unfortunately, I came too late. The carter and his men were dead.
Damn it, blast. Do you know who did it?
Yes. A certain knight turned up there. Turned out he was also after the forgers.
Well, that is indeed unexpected. Tell me, what did he say?
I asked him who his lead was, but he wouldn't answer. He told me where the forged Russian came from in these documents.
His name is Ulrich. He looked like a knight, but he refused to show his master's colours.
Ulrich, you say? Could be anyone.
Old, grey hair,
an older man with a
red
moustache.
ruffle rock.
But for all his grey hairs, he seemed pretty tough to me.
No, he didn't.
Doesn't match anyone I've heard of. But then we don't even know if Ulrich is his real name.
True.
I asked him who his liege was, but he refused to tell me.
We live in such strange times. In days past, knights would vie with each other to see who could extol their liege's name the loudest. And today, they take assumed names, hide their emblems, and sneak around the land like thieves.
I got the impression he was hiding his identity because his master's at odds with Sir Radzig.
That may well be. As a staunch supporter of the king, Sir Radzig has many enemies.
He told me where the forged Russian came from.
He told me that the fake money was being taken to Passau in exchange for gold coins. Then that real money was being brought back to the Bohemian lands.
That would explain why those fakes bear the Passau countermark.
His master is allied with the Passau alderman, and they told him to sort it all out.
I wonder who could be behind it all.
I know, since I've already finished the game.
He gave me these documents to show you. He seems to think they prove he was telling the truth. They're the records of the interrogations in Passau, and some other things he said you'd understand better than him.
Let me see. We, the aldermen of the city of Passau, interrogation from this day, put to pen by the questor. The place of origin is a monastery in the land of Bohemia. Which certainly confirms my suspicion that something underhand is going on in Sasso. Coin assay report. Copper core coated with amalgam. Ah, well this is interesting. Here's an outline description of how the forgeries are made. I'll have to study it more closely. We command Herr Ulrich to investigate and let no man stand in his way. This looks like the original safe conduct. It has the seal of the Passau alderman, but they certainly didn't pen this.
How do you know?
I recognize the hand. It's a Clement of Keplitz, the high scribe of the Rosenbergs.
The Rosenbergs? Who's that?
A rich and powerful family in South Bohemia. Burgrave Henry III is a great rival of our King Wenceslas.
So what does all this mean?
I didn't understand a word of what he said.
Why your knight is so mysterious. Anyway, we should be careful. And we shall begin our investigation. The documents show they use silver amalgam for coating copper fakes. That's a lead we can follow.
What?
Silver amalgam. It's produced from quicksilver and silver.
Well, that doesn't sound like something just anyone can get hold of.
You're quite right. You will go to Sasso at once. Look around the forges in the city. Someone must be working copper for them. I, meanwhile, will take counsel with Sir Radzig and then follow after you.
Where shall we meet?
At the inn on Sasso Market Square.
Market Square, that inn? That inn is fucking... There's a charlatan right next to it. Was trying to scam you out of money. Just take the other inn. You can't even get a room at the marketplace. I mean, I got a room in Sasau, I know that the second date to Teresa is at night. Well, night is a bit, is a little different. Evening. Evening is at 6. But it's summertime right now because, I mean, the sun comes up at 5 during this entire game. It comes up at 5. If you know what to do and you're experienced at this game, then, you know, you could actually finish the first act of this game in a day. Yeah. I'm supposed to be seeing this cam. Oh, there it is. I finally missed a turn.
How are you, Henry?
Alright. Hey, did I go to Sakuno yet? I was going to talk to him last. Alright. So, Sasau checked the forges to see where the alga something, where it came from. Oh, there's one to the right. Already kind of overshot the bridge. That's not the bridge, that's the... I think that's for the mill.
Yeah.
You know what is that for? Yep, it's got to do with the mill. I don't know why it's there, but my suspicion that had to do something with the mill was correct. I'll go a bit further to Sasau. I mean, there's a bathhouse there too. I mean, I have plenty of money. I have 148k. 150k. I'll be happy with my money. Then I won't need to pick up every single thing I find. Well, then I'll start picking up only things above 500. And of course, money, groschen. Money is groschen. Bandages if I need them, marigold decoction, savory schnapps. All that bullshit. Last time when I came from Sasau, I was attacked in the next piece of woods by 4 people. I only found 3 bodies. Pretty sure I also only killed 3 of them. I mean, in this part you should always have your sword drawn anyway. No visibility, woods. Not very close to a city or a town. Also those charcoal burners or woodcutters camp up on the hill by Ledesco. I get attacked there all the time as well. It's not late enough that to go to bed yet. I mean, this can't be the only monastery in Sassa, right? Of course, in Sassa. In the whole, or in Bohemia. I guess in Bohemia was a bit larger. It's larger than Czech. I mean, Czech Republic, I mean, that should have some more monasteries, right? Than just one.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
Well, there's Mikesh. He's honest enough, and a fair hand at everyday things. And then there's Master Otter. He used to have talent, but now he's too old, and too proud to admit it.
Yeah, he wants to, you know, this guy, Zach, he has a son and wants to, buy the, that smith, the armor smith, from Master Otter, and give it to his son. But Master Otter doesn't want a little boy, which he thinks, Zach's son's little boy. He doesn't want him to, you know, have his own store.
Do you work any copper here, Master Blacksmith?
Why'd you ask?
I'd want to commission you to make something.
Then you'd best go elsewhere. I never use copper.
Aha. So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What?
Aha.
Good luck then.
The sun Vitus.
God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
True, I haven't washed in a while.
See you later.
There's Master Otter, there's a swordsmith, and there's another guy. And maybe Ulrich is here. He's supposed to be at the end of Sasau, so I guess he might be here if I need help.
God be with you, Henry.
So, from the beginning.
Welcome, Henry.
I'm honored that you...
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
There's too many of us, I'll tell you that for free. This is only a small town. There's Zach, who has a forge in the craftsman's yard and mostly works on the construction of the church. And then, apart from me, there's Master Armourer Otter of Ramstein.
Tell me more about Zach.
Don't have much time for him myself. He knows his craft, no question. But he seems to think his son, Vitus, will be a master armourer in Prague one day.
My father was a blacksmith, and I expect he thought much the same about me. That's how fathers are, isn't it?
Of course, any man should be proud of his boy. But Zach makes pride a sin. That's why he's at loggerheads with Master
Pride
Otter.
is a sin.
Can you tell me something about Master Otter?
Well now, there's a master to look up to. He's worked for the lords of Kunstadt and for the richest towns.
I don't know why
Prague.
pride is a
If you don't
sin.
mind my asking, what brings him
Whatever.
here?
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace and quiet. Or rather, he used to enjoy
Maybe,
some
I guess
peace.
maybe too much
That
pride
dispute
and
with Zach
everything.
must have put a few more wrinkles on his brow.
That might be a sin. I didn't hear that last
Can you
one.
tell me something?
Well now, there's a master to look up to. He's worked for the lords of Kunstadt and for the richest townsfolk of Prague.
If you don't mind my asking, what brings him here?
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace and quiet. Or rather, he used to enjoy some peace. That dispute with Zach must have put a few more wrinkles on his brow.
What are Zach and Master Otter arguing about?
Zach had his boy Vitus trained as an armourer in Kuttenberg, and he wanted to buy out Otter's place for him. Except that Otter's a proud man. How would it have looked? A master armourer giving way to a young whippersnapper who's barely let go of his mother's skirts? And they've been arguing ever since. Well, Zach mostly. He badmouths Otter every chance he gets. He claims that he's only fit for mending pots, and that his son will see him off.
That will be all. Thank you. Do you ever work with copper here?
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Zach from the monastery craftsman's yard has bought out all the copper.
This motherfucker.
Goodbye.
I thought it was Zach. I still got to Master Otto talk about, you know, all the stuff with, what's his name? Otto and Zach, third out. There's a quest after you've done this main quest between Zach and Otto. Oops. Thought there was a quest there. No, the quest is right over here. No, that's a charlatan. Not gonna do anything for him. He's a fucking asshole. And a scammer. And a bitch. A guy with a name, Rapata. Don't see that very often. Took a while. Must have been really dirty. It would be fun if he would still be a little wet, you know?
I hope
If
I
some
can be of help to you.
water would drip from his hair. It does seem that
Do you make anything out of copper, Master?
the longer it has been that you washed,
Sometimes. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for someone who could do me some copper sheets.
Well, that's pretty rough and ready work. I wouldn't waste my time with it. But go and ask Zach from the craftsman's yard by the monastery. He's bought up all the copper to be had around here anyway.
what was I saying? So, I mean, it does seem the more dirty you are, the longer it's been that you've washed, the longer you get a loading screen.
What can you tell me about the blacksmiths here in Sasau?
Depends which ones you mean. In the town, there's Mikesh. He's a decent man and an honest craftsman. And in the yard by the monastery, there's Zach. But there's not many good words I can say about him.
Tell me something about Mikesh.
Like I said, he's an honest craftsman, which isn't something you can say about every blacksmith in town.
What about the monastery blacksmith, Zach?
Well, him and me don't exactly see eye to eye. He wanted to buy my business, but I turned him down. Ever since then, he hasn't had a good word to say about me.
That will be all.
Good luck.
Well, it's clear. I guess the weaponsmith doesn't classify as an armor smith or as a blacksmith. But I better talk to him anyway. He also has a quest, but you gotta do some stealing. Queen Sheba's sword or something.
God save.
Apparently someone sold him a piece of Queen Sheba's sword, and you gotta get all the pieces.
Take care.
Some people deny they have a piece, but they have one anyway. Or they do have one, or when they say they do have one, you gotta steal it from them, or offer them even more money for it. I mean, that guy would consider selling me the sword. For a high price, of course. But you see, I'm not even sure what kind of a sword it is. It might be a short sword, you know? I mean, the noble sword is, in fact, a short sword.
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
That's not what I heard.
What?
I was told in town that you bought all the other blacksmith's copper.
I'm being made a fool of yet again, it seems. Anything else? I still have work to do. Goodbye.
Your father says you don't work any copper.
We don't.
I've heard differently around town.
Okay,
They say
he's
your
a
father's
young
bought all the copper to
boy.
be had.
Are you calling me a liar? Or my father? You're asking for it, boy.
Oh, I'm the boy. I don't really want to fight him. Oh, he actually has 16, but look at my nobility, my impression.
You're right. It's
For
nothing to me.
14
Right.
against
So
5.
clear off.
I mean, beside the fact I'm here on behalf of the Royal Burgrave Sir Radric Cobbler, investigating a grievous crime against the crown.
What? What are you talking about?
I'd let you read my
It
bill
is
of
true.
authority, but I doubt you're educated enough to understand it.
Or that he even can read.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. If I'd known, of course I wouldn't. I mean, you understand, don't you?
Stop prattling, for God's sake, and start telling me the truth. What's the story with the copper at your forge?
You're right. We do make copper sheets here at night.
At night.
So why all the secrecy about it?
Father forbade me to talk about it. I don't know why. I didn't ask.
Yeah, but you make him at night.
Who buys those sheets from you?
I don't know. I've never set eyes on him. Father doesn't like to talk about it.
Your father has some serious explaining to do.
I'm so sorry. If I'd known who you were, I'd never have taken such liberties.
Never mind. You weren't to know who I am. You were just protecting your father's business interests like any good son.
Thank you.
Good luck.
It's not like lying is a crime. And I am really here on behalf of Sir Radric.
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
Your son put it quite differently.
What's that? What are you blabbering on about?
Don't be angry with him. I didn't give him any choice.
All right. I suppose there's no point lying. We do make copper sheets here, and I wanted to keep it quiet.
Why?
Pays me good money, and the people I do it for. I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of them.
Did they threaten you?
They didn't have to. Just by the look of them, I could say I needed to shut my mouth and do what they wanted.
And did they ever tell you who they were? Do you know where to find them?
I know a little. I'd show some understanding. There's nothing but trouble in it for me. I'll lose the work and be left looking over my shoulder for some thugs to come and burn down my house. Or worse.
You don't need to worry about that. I don't want to
If you
threaten
lie
them.
down with dogs, you shouldn't complain about the fleas.
There's no need for threats. We can both benefit here.
I never
If I
threatened
tell
them.
you everything I know, you can help me with a certain small matter. One that'll cover up for my loss of earnings.
You've got a cheek. Not only are you in with the counterfeiter gang, but you lied to me on top of it. You should be on your knees begging for mercy right now, not trying to make a profit.
I didn't know what they were doing.
But now you do know, and you've still got the cheek to try to strike a deal with me. So Radzig's definitely going to be hearing about this.
You're right. I'm sorry, I overstepped the mark. I certainly didn't mean to offend one of Lord Radzig's men. One evening I got a visit from this scruffy beggar calling himself Rapota. He had a yellow cape on and kept whistling to himself. There was a knight with him too, but he didn't give his name. They told me what I had to do, how much I'd get for it, and I had to keep my mouth shut.
And where can I find this Rapota? Or the knight?
I don't know exactly. But I've always left the wagon with the goods behind the monastery, on the hill there, next to a small chapel under a big tree.
Anything else?
No. I swear that's all I know.
Well, that'll do me for now.
Young man, about that matter I need help with. I'll gladly pay you.
First, tell me what's going on.
I recently tried to buy Master Armourer Otto Rabstein's business for my son Vitus, but that old fool wouldn't listen to reason. He said he couldn't understand his legacy being taken over by a clod like my Vitus. Despite the insult, I doubled my offer, but Master Otto still wouldn't budge.
And what is it you need from me?
I thought I'd show Otto that Vitus isn't such a dolt as he thinks, but for that I need someone experienced in combat.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
I love the plan.
What's your plan?
I love it.
Otto's busy making a very pretty suit of armor for the bailiff. So I was thinking, if we could show that pretty armor of his is absolutely useless, he'd be disgraced.
And how am I supposed to see to that?
Well, I reckon we'd arrange a duel of champions with bludgeons. You'll put on Vitus's armor, and Otto will send his champion in that tin shit of his. You invite the bailiff to watch, and Otto will be made a laughingstock in front of everyone.
And what do I get out of it?
Vitus will let you have the cuirass from his suit of armor, and I'll throw in a few groschen on top.
Sounds good.
And I'm sure a fella like you would be glad to be on good terms with the best armorer for miles around, eh?
That remains to be seen. Do you really think that will work?
Otto's always mouthing off in the alehouse that my young lad isn't worth a damn. Once I show he's just a bitter old bastard spouting hot air, his business will be ruined.
God's sake.
And Vitus will reap the reward. What with all the strife in the country these days, there'll be no end of work for a good armorer.
But what
You
if
can
I
also
lose?
steal it, apparently.
Nonsense. How could you? Vitus's armor is light as an eggshell and hard as a rock.
Now, apparently, you can also steal it. But
Agreed. I'll get to work on it.
Wonderful. Go to Otto first and talk him into it. Then go to the bailiff so he can announce it and get spectators. The more people see it, the better. We'll bring the armor to you at the combat arena.
now, Otto, he's not gonna try and make you his champion, but he's gonna pay you to lose. Now, I'm not gonna do that. And it is true, I actually am a champion. I mean, I've won the Red Tide tournament 3 times already. Maybe even 4 times. I think it was 3 though.
Yeah!
This happened to me yesterday. Sprinting is supposed to help it. Oh, that's Ulrich.
Like a beer.
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him, and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins, and quicksilver for the alma... and the other part?
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard
Yeah,
anything else?
I don't know.
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujits. I heard him complain also. He said that he went to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
God save you, good night.
I guess this is the only
can I do
guy
for
who's
you?
not a monk who's allowed inside the monastery.
I hear you've had some problems with the supply of quicksilver.
Problems? I should say so. For the third time this month they've told me they've none. There's no quicksilver to be had, they said.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red paint, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived, and another time the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
You've got two hands.
Jesus, what do I know?
All
Well,
right.
it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same paint goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
What do you need quicksilver for?
I don't. They do. To mix up the red pigment for me. I'm painting the church in Ujits. Can you imagine how stupid those biblical scenes look without red?
Not really.
I
I'd be
could.
glad you can. My eyes are just to imagine it.
That's all I need to know for now.
Ah. But wouldn't you care to buy something before you go? Or play a game? I really need some money. I've been waiting here a while and my stay's getting expensive.
Oh, I'll take the shirt off his back.
There's always time for some dice. Let's see what you can do.
Good luck then.
I'll get the shirt off of his back. He'll lose his shoes to me.
May the best man win.
It's 2,000 points. I see 2 1s and 3 6s already. Oh yes, 2 plus 12. And because he used all my dices, score and roll again.
Can't fall your way forever.
2 1s, 3 1s, that's 1,000 points. Boom, 1. He didn't even get a turn in.
My pleasure. May the Lord
He
watch
didn't
you.
even get a turn.
Well, Master Painter, are you still short of coin?
Yes, unfortunately. And my offer still stands. Don't you want to buy something? Or throw a few dice?
Let's see what he has for sale.
Why not? Show me what you have to offer.
Ooh. Drinking, nice. Treasure map, never hurts. Let's throw one more round of dice. I want him to at least have a chance, you know? I mean, I could have held back. wanted to make money by throwing dice. The idiots.
What's the holdup? Hey!
That's not how you make money. Well, depends on how good you are at
There's
dice.
always time for... Take care.
Did we even bet something? Normally when we play dice, you have to bet. I didn't bet anything.
Your fame precedes you. It won't get the better of me.
2 1s and a 5. Two 1s and a 5.
How much longer must I wait?
2 1s.
Jesus, what do I have to do to get a drink here?
That's supposed to be the 1. If I have 3, I'll still throw, but a 1 and 2 2s. Not the best. Oh, he does a special die. They're all special. 2 5s, 2 4s. Tricky ass. 3. No, 2 5s, 2 4s. I think I see another 5. 2 4s, a 5 and a 2. I'm doing better than him.
Oh no!
Bust. See, now at least he has a chance. 3 1s.
I'm off to a great
Oh
start.
wow. His luck is terrible. And boom, I got 2,000 points.
Hey, where's my ale?
I feel bad for him. His luck is terrible. My luck is great. Well, no, he still had three left. No, 3 what are they called? 3 dice. So now I have 3 dice left. I still throw, depending on how many points I have, of course. If I already have 1,000, and the guy I'm up against doesn't have a shitload left, a shitload of points left to go, then I'll, I'll be good. 1,000 is enough.
I'm honored that...
Leaves it all to his assistant,
Do you have any
so...
quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
Nobody. I'm just asking.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
Ooh, yes, pretty high. Better do this.
Tell me this instant what you've done with the goods.
Nothing! And I'd advise you to calm down. We're on hallowed ground.
You're a fine one to speak of hallowed ground, a lying thief in monastic robes. What next? A whore dressed as a nun?
This is blasphemy!
I'll give you blasphemy. I'm sure you know what our Lord did to the money changers in the temple.
What do you mean? You're not going to hurt me, are you?
It took him that long to figure out I'm threatening him.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear.
He had some pretty high impression, apparently, or nobility.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon. Directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was. Without a crest. Armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was.
So they did buy
They
it.
told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
Yeah, I understand.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery. That they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Well, I don't work for a monastery.
Thank you.
And I'm certainly not going to snitch on him. I mean, he's the officer's hand, he works his fingers to the bone. If that is true, then I understand why he's stealing. The overseer probably makes enough money. Well, even though the overseer is one of the monks. Like, you're not, once you do have to join the monastery for a quest. Once you join the monastery, you're not allowed outside. So, I guess only high-ranking monks are allowed outside.
I might know where the materials from the monastery get passed on to the forgers.
Where?
Up the hill by Sasau Woods.
Shall we go right now?
No, I need to find out more. I don't even know if anyone will be there now, but you could keep an eye out there, in case anyone appears, I mean.
Agreed.
Here.
I'll tell him that he'll soon have some,
Well, yes,
I'm sorry
he'll
about
soon
that.
have some more quicksilver. Won't be long. I thought that horse was Ulrich's. Saw which way it was headed. This is actually a pretty productive in-game day. I mean, didn't even have time to go to the bathhouse. I mean, I only go to the bathhouse in the morning because they put my energy up to 100 and my nourishment up to 100. Best to do it in the morning, or else I'll have 100. I saw Rapota last time. There he is. That bastard.
Are you Rapota by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know you're buying copper from Zach the blacksmith.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Oh, from in jail.
Let's leave it for another time.
Oh, god damn it, bastard! This is one he's one fast motherfucker.
No, I give up.
He was really making
You
a...
ready to talk?
He was really hauling ass to his
Just
horse.
don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skullet's Mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skullet's Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Yezhek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist it.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Yezhek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Yezhek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapidan. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Yezhek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, better Sir Yezhek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get run off back, take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
He confessed to me, so I'll take him to jail.
I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Yezhek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Yezhek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
No, it's up to the... No, the country needs to... The law needs to deal with him.
Honourable death? No chance. It's the dungeons for you, and the sort of punishment a counterfeiter deserves. Don't worry. In time, you'll be glad of the gallows.
I lost reputation, but... There's a jail here in Sassau, luckily. Hope it don't take him all the way to Ratai. I do know for sure there's a jail here. I was in the jail here once. When I talked back to... It's open. They don't even lock the doors here. I talked back to the custodian once, and then I got thrown in jail. I wonder if Faithful are still here.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me? Good luck then.
Should have talked to him first. I mean, I didn't know that option would disappear. It really sucks when you buy a horse slower than your current horse. Just so you don't overtake everyone. You have to ride with someone. But then your horse is still faster than them, than theirs. What's the B about? The C is, I know what that is for. What's the B for? Oh, okay. Wait, no. Teresa. Only glisters. Secure Ulrich's help. Find and oh, okay. Well, I thought the B was for a monastery. I mean, Rapata is dead. I wouldn't be too surprised if the knight ain't here. I should have told Zack that he should still deliver it. We should be hiding somewhere. We should just be here once he has another couple of sheep left. If you come here, there are supposed to be bandits, but yup, you dealt with them. He took out 2 at a time.
I finally found out where the Forger's workshop is. Master Fayfar was right. The Forgers are sticking close to the supply source. Their workshop is somewhere in the mines. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill. I've no idea what to expect there, but I'd rather go there with some backup.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on.
You kidding me? Am I instantly just there, or fast travel there? Because I want to take the shit that was here. I mean, I can always come back. I don't really have much reason to go back. Well, no, armor doesn't rattle as much as his. Now, of course, he has a shield and I don't.
Hey, who's that?
Well, I never. The pig turns up willingly
Two
for
arms!
the slaughter.
I'll squash you like the louse you are!
Is that the best you can do?
Raise the alarm!
Gut.
Watch out!
Here.
Over here! Rise, everyone! Nurka! Two arms! Get over here!
Had enough, boy? And that's that.
Ulrich went in. What time is it? 8. Well, past 8. I'd say 20 or 15 past 8. Quarter past 8 p.m. So, and I mean, sometimes at 9, and at 9 it won't be dark. It's not like it's dark at 9, but that's when the sun is starting to set. Well, the sun starts to set at 12, obviously. What was Ulrich going to say? Sometimes I show up with my coif or my chainmail hood, and sometimes I don't.
Jesus Christ. Who are you, and what are you doing here?
I'm here at the command of the Royal Hetman, Sir Radzig Kabila.
Tuzi?
That's no concern of yours.
I'm I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement. I have plenty of coin.
We can come to an agreement that you'll keep your mouth shut.
Looks much harder than me.
Please, don't take this personally.
Wait!
What? Do you want to do it? Be my guest. It gives me no pleasure.
You can't kill him. I have orders to take him to Ratai.
That is unfortunate. I have orders to kill everyone involved in this business.
You can't do that!
I have no choice, as you are aware.
I will stab him. I beat him in combat before, and I'll do it again.
He may have valuable information.
For that exact reason, my master does not wish this man to fall into the wrong hands, especially those of Radzik Kobila.
You're a traitor.
The world is not so black and white. We were on the same side for a while, but no longer. That is how it goes.
You don't have to go back to the Rosenbergs.
He confronted me more than me.
The writing on your letter of passage.
Just as I said, there is nothing safe from prying eyes on this land. And where would you suggest I go?
Into Sir Radzig's service. He needs people like you.
I serve Kobila. Out of the question. If he learned of all that I did for the Rosenbergs, he would hang me from the nearest tree. But you are right, I do not have to return to the Rosenbergs. In fact, I cannot.
Why not?
I am a knight without a crest, without allegiance. No one was meant to know whom I serve. If the Rosenbergs hear that I have been found out, they will see to it I vanish. They cannot afford to be associated with me.
Where will you go then?
Where the road takes me, as I have many times before. Farewell, Henry.
I like that I didn't have to kill him.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Please, please. I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go.
Alright. Yeah, take him to the executioner. He's good at torture.
Let's go. Master Fayfar is very keen to meet you.
Bum. What? No, what? No, fuck!